Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes and wow. Breaking news, Broxtowe Council. The Labour councillors there have basically resigned en masse, all 20 of them. They are forming a new independent party. They are distancing themselves from the Labour Party. They say that Keir Starmer is a dictator. He's working against the interests of the working man and against the interests of Britain, and that they cannot align themselves with this kind of behaviour. These were people who would have, they didn't quit when Corbyn was in charge. And how far to the left is he? It goes to show how obnoxious Keir Starmer is when entire councils now are quitting. They say they cannot go on. They cannot, abide his behaviour. They say they were elected to represent the people, and they are not being represented at Parliament. Excuse me. It is just astonishing this has happened. Now, this has got to weaken Starmer immediately. He's sitting there in Madeira at the moment, looking at this. He must have his head in his hands. He thinks he's all powerful. He thinks he can do no wrong. Well, it appears that's not the case. Now, the leader of the council, Radovic, I believe his name is Milan Radulovic, do apologise, who's been the party member for 47 years. 47 years, a Labour member. And he has basically walked away and taken the rest of the council with him. The decision by some councillors to sit as independents only 18 months after they were elected is incredibly disappointing, said a Labour spokesman. Well, if you think it's disappointing, don't say, why have they done it? Say, why did they feel it was necessary to do it? And then look inwardly. It's not disappointing for them. What's disappointing for them is the Labour government. They said they'd established this new independent party and that they would continue in the role of a minority leadership. But now they said they are unrestricted by Labour cant, which I quite like. 10 of them apparently have already been blocked for standing for Labour. At the upcoming local elections for Nottingham County Council, I've actually been in, just as an aside, I've been in the chamber. I've sat as a councillor in Nottingham County Council Hall. I wasn't elected as a councillor, but I sat there. I was wearing my little councillor's badge. And the reason being, it was filming. I was an extra in, Sherwood. And if you actually watch the very first episode, right at the beginning of the very first episode of Series 2 of Sherwood, and it cuts in, you get him walking down the corridor, and it cuts to the hall, and you'll see a little figure in blue suit with the white hair. That's me. Anyway, they claimed that they'd been blocked from standing, as I say, because of their attitudes and things like that, because they questioned the winter fuel policy. Now, a lot of them are quitting over that, the winter fuel. They're quitting over the economy. They're quitting over the waspy women. They said, but what's actually tipping the balance for some of them is the Jess Phillips, basically. All this revelation that came out in the last 24 hours about Jess Phillips refusing to have an inquiry. They're saying that this is being backed up, and now Labour refusing to have the inquiry over the grooming gangs. Said there are so many reasons, and it's all coalesced into this one decision that finally they've had enough, and they say they want local democracy to be in the hands of local people. Well done them. I've got to say, well done each and every one of them. And the fact that this will humiliate Starmer is a bonus. To be sure, I'm not entirely sure he can feel humiliation, that being a human emotion. And he seems to be a bit of a psychopath, lacking any kind of emotion, except maybe the pleasure of destruction. That seems to be the only thing that gives him a glint in his eye and a fizz in his pants, watching things crumble, like his marriage. Thanks very much. Bye.